It's time for the trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Here is how to tear a country apart without boots on the ground. Here we go. Okay, first you choose a nemesis. Let's choose the United States, just for example. First, we're gonna create disinformation, and that's if you have time and money. These are gonna be time and money people. All right, we're gonna make up news, we're gonna Photoshop memes, we're gonna create false narratives, and we're gonna flat out lie. All right, next, we are going to befriend those who will do this, disseminate disinformation. And let's look at that. We are going to pay legislators, lawmakers, and influencers to peddle disinformation. And by the way, we can use PACs to hide that money so they'll never know what foreign adversary it came from. We will buy a social media platform, push free speech, but only our own, and we will clamp down on opposition and spread disinformation via tweets. It'll spread like wildfire. All right, next, we will create TV networks devoted to indoctrination. Thanks to Roger Ailes and Richard Nixon in 1970 for coming up with this wonderful idea, and Rupert Murdoch in 1996, bringing it to fruition with lots of money. Okay, read up. All right, we can spread disinformation via news every day, hour by hour, for years. It's the best way. Okay, next, employ bot farms. The bot farms will create Facebook groups, they will create fake profiles, and they will spread disinformation via memes and stories and videos that are just made up. This is an excellent way for a foreign adversary to come in and destroy a country. Don't tell anyone. All right. Next, coordinate with CN and NAR churches. Look it up. Use the Bible, guilt, and scapegoating to spread disinformation via the pulpit. Okay, when you employ all of these, and all of these are spreading disinformation, and you have people who work hard and don't have time to research things because they are working 1, 2, 3 jobs. They come home, they're tired, they see something that makes them angry, and they spread it. They will spread it for you. All you have to do is put it in front of them because they're already angry. Okay, what that will do is break us as a country. It will divide us very quickly. Friends, family, broken. All right, the cure for this is to not put people in power who have no courage, no integrity, no character. But it's kind of too late for that. So what we can do is put people into power, elect people who have that. Because these are a danger to democracy. Courage, integrity, character. These are things, if any of these people wanted to wake up tomorrow morning and be a better human, they could do that. That's their choice. Because I'll tell you what, money cannot buy character. And it cannot buy courage.
I think it's really important that we lay out what's happening here because this is how a democracy vanishes. But I think it's also equally important to talk about why Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy and all of his billionaire friends are engaged in this very coordinated early attack, even before he's sworn in, to try to intimidate his political opposition and bully the press. And the reason they are doing this, the reason that they are trying to suppress dissent, is because they are preparing to steal from us. Donald Trump and his billionaire buddies want to be in charge of government so that they can make themselves more wealthy at our expense. They want government contracts. They want to privatize government programs. They want to get bigger regulatory breaks. They want lower taxes. Donald Trump and his billionaire cronies want government to serve them, but they know the only way they get away with that is if no one holds them accountable. So in order to steal from us, they have to silence political opposition, intimidate activists into submission, and try to get the press to fold. If they do that, then they can get away with using government as a mechanism to enrich themselves.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Testing. Test, 1 through 3. If you guys can hear me, give me a good old thumbs up there in the chat. Before I start talking, I'm going to wait for a thumbs up, just to make sure. I got a green light, so I think you guys can hear me. Oh, and for some reason, I don't know how that happens, but I've still got the old Christmassy background. I see a thumb up from Deborah and from Nick Rich. Thank you so much. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's 9:17 a.m. Pacific time here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It's currently, I believe, let's see if it updates, 48 degrees here. I'm supposed to get up to about 60. We are still a good, I bet you, 7 or 8 degrees above average for this time of year for our daytime high. We did get a few sprinkles the other night. It's been really dry. Almost, like I said, we got, I think, a sprinkle a couple nights ago. That was the first even hint of precipitation we've had in weeks and weeks and weeks. Anyhow, good morning. I see Nick Rich here, first in the driver's lounge today. Good to see Nick. Now, I'm at top messages. I can't get it to go to all messages. The only hope is if we get one of those super chats or something like that, it will give the chat filter will pop up. It's a glitch. There's a glitch in the system. So anyhow, I got Aaron West. Hey, all right, got Aaron here. Thank you, Aaron, for being here. Mod extraordinaire. We got Teresa TAK. Good morning to Teresa. Hope you had a good Christmas. Nick Rich is here. William's here. Hello, William. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody. Hope everyone had a great Christmas, great holiday. Here we are, the day after Christmas. So all the presents have been opened. We had the big Christmas dinner. You spent time with family, I hope. Now, I didn't do it. I just stayed home and I watched. Actually, I had a nice day. I watched football on Netflix. Netflix covered. They had both the games yesterday. They weren't the greatest games in the world, but still, I enjoy football, so I had a good time. Drank a few beers, watched some football, and then later on, watched some Netflix. I finished up watching Alice in Borderland, and then I started watching. Went back to my Blacklist, season 5. I started season 5 on Blacklist. So, in case you're interested in what my my viewing habits are, I guess. Hey, Alvin Stube is here. We got Josh. Let's get this lounge started. James Williams here. Good to see James. Deborah Murphy says, hello. No one is shopping after Christmas sales. Walmart was almost empty. The Dollar Tree had a few people here. Wow. Yeah, remember the day when, like the day after Christmas, that was the return day, right? Usually everyone was returning shit, and they usually would have some sales, big sales and stuff. Sort of like big clearance, whatever. But for Deborah Murphy, it's empty. The stores are empty. I think a lot of people do so much stuff online too. I don't know. I'm not sure what we should, take into that about the stores being empty. Is it because no one got anything for Christmas? No one did in the first place? There was no Christmas shopping. I haven't heard reports about the retail reports on how it went this year. I really haven't seen any of that yet. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Fancy's here. Hey, Fancy, good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. We got Josh. Y'all better keep it entertaining. I laugh. Fancy says Struggle John is late fashionably. Well, yeah, I like that. Fashionably late, yeah. I was not napping. I was making myself some toast and coffee. Josh, okay, I can pack up and drive now. Watch your mouth. Nick Rich 909. So, oh boy. What am I, 12 minutes behind? Chris Dog's here. Hey, Chris Dog. Good to see Chris Dog. Good day after Christmas to you. Christina Weibel's here. Good morning. Hope everyone had a peaceful, safe Christmas. Me too. I do hope that too. Jolie's here. So now we've got both the mods, full mod capacity. Aaron and Jolie are here. So you better watch yourself. Christina Weibel says, I will be popping back and forth from here to Tennessee, Brando. Oh, I thought you were going to Tennessee. I thought you were driving over or something. Okay. No, you're going to, okay, Tennessee, Brando. He's also live right now with Coach D. Hey, Coach D. Coach D in the house. I don't know who Coach D is. But hell of a guy, I'm sure. Oh man, day after Christmas. Can you guys believe it? Another year goes by. Boy, but before you know it, it'll be Christmas again. The years are just going by. I didn't do anything with my family because I'm really only gonna celebrate every other Christmas because the years are just going by so fast that I think I'm only gonna get together every other year. I guess it'll be every odd year now because the next one will be 2025. Yeah, it just goes by. It just seems like yesterday. Well, Christmas was yesterday. Well, okay, it just seems like yesterday, or it just seems like the day before yesterday. It was, the other Christmas. I don't know. I'm rambling. Goal created. Oh, there's the goal. Trucker John just started a goal. Yeah, I tried to get that super chat to see if we can get the chat filter to work. Chris Doug's there. Fancy. I'm just scrolling down. Everybody's greeting everyone. Greetings, everybody. But anyhow, in the opening intro, I thought those were interesting videos. And that's how it's done, folks. That's how we end up with President Trump, is through all that disinformation. Disinformation. Those are active campaigns. And yeah, when we say that there's a Russian involvement, that's part of it. They are big on disinformation campaigns. Elizabeth Fernandez is here. Hey, good to see Elizabeth. That's a new name, I think, for me. So hope you like, subscribe, and share, and hang out with us for a bit. Just hang on out. Hopefully I guess I got the mic close enough. I keep leaning in, and I don't think I really need to lean in. When I lean in, that's when I get a little bit too hot on the mic. So let's just scoot you back. MJ Daniels here. Hey, MJ, Boxing Day, when people box up the stuff they want to return, right? That's what I always think of. Let's see. We got everyone. Hey, everybody, get yourself a hot cup of coffee or whatever it is you drink. Some people don't like coffee. It's hot coffee, hot tea. Kick back and relax. Let's just kick back and relax a little bit. Let's sort of decompress from the holidays. This is the time when Christmas is over. And this might be the most relaxing day of the year, actually. I mean, some people I know it could be hectic if they are doing returns and all that stuff. But for me, I always seemed like the day after Christmas was sort of like that day when finally Christmas has come, it's over with, and you can just sort of, I don't know, exhale. And then you just start thinking about New Year's. And New Year's is, for me, New Year's Eve has never been a stressful thing. It's like back in the day, yeah, we used to go to parties and we used to bring in the new year and get, drunk or whatever. And then that was a long time ago. I haven't done that kind of stuff in a long time. Now it's just like, well, now I don't even really do anything, but it can be pretty mellow. You just watch the ball drop on TV now. You can have friends over, or you can just have family, or you can just do whatever you want. It's almost the opposite of Christmas for me, anyhow, as far as like stressfulness. There there does always seem to be that this sort of where there's this buildup of the holidays from Thanksgiving through Christmas. It seems like Thanksgiving is a big kind of can be a stressful thing because a lot of people have people coming over. They're getting dinner prepared, and they're expecting guests, and so you have that, and then from there that's sort of like the big shopping, getting all your last minute Christmas shopping done all the way up until Christmas Eve or whatever. And so there's this big build up, And for a lot of people, it could be very stressful. Like, did I get enough presents? Did I get the right presents? Did I do this? Did I do that? And then finally on Christmas Day, it's this big explosion of, like, especially if you have kids and they run out to the tree and they start, grabbing their presents and demolishing the presents or whatever. And then that's done in about 30 minutes. And then everyone is just sort of like, whoa, okay, now what do we do? And then you kind of like, it's like, okay, is IHOP open? Is Denny's open or whatever? Let's go get something to eat, whatever. Or you make your own breakfast, you have breakfast, or you go out or whatever. And for us, a lot of times, we would go to see a movie, and then you relax, and then it becomes more relaxed. And you've had this big, explosion or whatever, and then you kind of relax, and then the next day, you kind of are just, it can be kind of mellow all the way until New Year's, and then you go and you do whatever it is you do for New Year's, if you go out to a party or if you go out to some, event where they have the fireworks, or whether you just stay home. But, you bring in the new year, you bring it in, and then the new year starts. And it does seem to be this sort of calmness and quietness for a while. And not talking about politics and about the inauguration or anything like that, but just overall, it does seem like January kind of, you're just starting the new year, and you're thinking about all the things people do, New Year's resolutions, and there's this new, and even if you don't do that, there is still this feeling of, okay, here's a brand new year. We got to do a fresh start on the year. How are we going to handle this year? What am I going to do? What are we going to do? And so, I don't know, January seems to be sort of a calm, quiet kind of month. And then it kind of builds up. And then we will be, of course, well, when we get into February and March, we will be into the new administration, and we're going to see how that unfolds, and we're going to see all the shit start happening. And then that's when we start getting back to, all of the old, that's when it sets in, it's like, oh, fuck, here we go. And I know it'll probably set in on January 20th, but I'm just speaking kind of overall in broad strokes here. But, here we go. Here we go, folks. 2025. What's it going to be like? I know we have a lot of anxiety about that. What is Trump going to do? How horrible is it all going to be? And I have the mindset of, I guess, just gotta wait and see. I'm not gonna waste my energy, I guess, on being upset until I have to. Robert Perez is here. Says, I hope Santa Claus came by your place yesterday and gave you a Uber car and job. Oh, Robert, thank you so much for that. I mean, that's a nice thing to say. He didn't. Uber still has me, I guess, disqualified from driving, even though I've been on the phone with their customer service people or whatever, or, their support group. They tell me over and over again, just resubmit my license. They'll recheck it. They'll rerun the MVR, and it will it'll go through. And they don't, and so I do that, and they still don't. They're not rerunning the new MVR. The MVR is the motor vehicle report. They are not doing it. Because I've gone on there and I can check it, and my license is good. My license is up to date. It's all good. So I don't know what's going on with Uber. But Lyft has me good to go. So I went ahead and signed up with Lyft. I'm good to go with Lyft. I just have to get a car. Let's see. Jolie says, Aaron West, I went in at 8:30 today and had to do some more training. Oh, that's Jolie's got a new job. That's right. Then the rest of the day was going over stuff with people that missed questions on their test. I didn't miss any, so I was done. Look at you, Jolie, getting 100%. Jolie, congrats on the new job. I can't wait to hear more about that. It sounds very interesting. I don't know how much details you want to go into it on here, but it sounds like a really interesting job and something you'll do very well at. So congrats on that. Marsha's here. Marsha says hello. Hello to you, Marsha. Um, let's see. We got Chris Doug. I saw a report about high-end label stores, clothing, and accessories sales down 25 to 50%. That's pretty big. The new rich are cutting back. That is pretty huge, isn't that, Chris? Doug? I mean, that's a huge drop. That's a huge drop. Aaron West says there's a dog here whining at me because I won't let her lick my plate. Big Dog NC's here. Hey, big Dog, good to see you. Good morning. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Back at you. Right back at you. Robert Perez says, does Santa Claus work overtime? I'm still waiting for some kind of gift. Oh, maybe you were on the naughty list, Robert. See, that's how um, you know, when for kids that didn't get anything, that's why there's a naughty list. Because when the parents who couldn't get their kid anything for Christmas, and then they go, well, you must have been on the naughty list. Santa don't bring gifts to the naughty kids, and then the kids going like, what did I do? I was a good kid all year. What the fuck? And the parents are like, no, you must have done something. And then the kids just thinking and thinking like, oh fuck, Santa can see everything. I thought I hid that thing that I did. Chris Doug says, I'm named after Christopher Street in New York City and General Douglas MacArthur. Hence Chris Doug. Not Dog. Did I say Chris Dog? There's Big Dog. I was talking about Big Dog. Anyhow. Robert Perez, Santa Claus is a Teamster. Is he? I didn't know that. Hey, Kim Cheese here. Good to see Kim Cheese. Says happy Boxing Day, beautiful Mutter Trucklers. Hugs, dear Trucker John, gorgeous Jolie, and beautiful Mistress Aaron West. Back at you, Kim Chi. Good to see good old Kim Chi in the driver's lounge. CR's here. Hello, CR. Good to see you. Robert Perez says, hope you found all the presents on your tree, Big Dog. Big Dog. Terrence Bunce is here. Says, good Thursday, Jolie. Oh, I guess for the rest of us, screw you. I'm just kidding. Let's see. We got, I'm scrolling on down. Mike H. Hey, good to see Mike H. I don't trust people that don't drink coffee. They're out there, Mike. They're out there amongst us. Big Dog says, I just ate some leftover baked mac and cheese pumpkin pie. Oh, and pumpkin pie. Because that's an important word to not leave out. Because I was thinking mac and cheese pumpkin pie, and I'm just my mind immediately went to, would that be good? That might be good. I don't know. But there's the and in there, so disregard that thought. Fancy with the membership. Thank you, Fancy, coming in with a gift. And let's see, who got it? Carol de Burris. Carol de Burris was gifted that. Thank you, Fancy. Thank you so much. I always do appreciate you doing that, helping out the show like that, and it's a fun thing to do. So thank you so much. AM says, hi, John. How was your Christmas? Well, like I said, I stayed home this year. I was a Scrooge in a way. I didn't buy one gift. I've been out of work. I'm a little broke. The kids all understand, they're on their 20s now, mid 20s, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And they did their thing down there in California. But it was pretty mellow this year for all of us, as far as gift giving and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I made the best of it. I watched football on Netflix, which was cool. Netflix now is carrying football. They had the Christmas Day games, NFL games on Christmas, and I enjoyed myself. I'm the type of person, I usually just make the best of things. Like ideally, yeah, I would have liked to have gone down and seen my kids and done the thing where we have Christmas morning together, and then we go and we find a restaurant that's open, like IHOP, and then we go see a movie. I would have done it. I would have loved to have done all of that stuff. That's kind of our tradition. We didn't do it that year, so I stayed home and I watched NFL football on Netflix and had a couple beers, and then I watched Then I watched some more Netflix after that. So you know, to me, that was like the second best thing, I guess. The best thing would have been, to be down there. I did the second best thing. Let's see who else we got. Roxanne Arfield's here. Hey, Roxanne, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Robert Perez. Oh yeah, get ready for New Year's Eve. Get your flak jackets and helmets ready. That's the thing too. Yeah, I remember there's always stories of people firing guns in the air and then someone gets shot in the head. Yeah, so stay indoors or wear a helmet, right? Fancy says, yeah, I'm nice around Christmas so I can be mean the rest of the year. No, Santa, he watches all year long. Chris Doug says, kimchi, that's from the movie Hot Shots, one of the many hilarious moments. Hot Shots. Was that like Charlie Sheen or something? Was that? Big Dog says, I ate way too much food back on my diet tomorrow. You might as well just wait till after New Year's because, I think you should just, between now and New Year's, if there's any parties going on and there's lots of eating or football games or whatever, just do it. You can start that diet on January 1st or January 2nd. I hate my flap. My cup here. Let's see. Just scrolling on down. I'm scrolling, folks. I'm scrolling. Deborah Murphy says, I used to have the two X in the house to be with kids to watch what Santa brought for the kids. Me and my ex, we pretty much have gotten together for almost every Christmas, except for this one. And there may have been a couple others I missed over the years, but primarily since we've had the kids, since they were born, we've pretty much gotten together, and me and the ex have been exes for a long time. But we like to do that because it's a family thing. We like, we love our family. We love our kids. Let's see who else we got here. All right, so Big Dog with the $1.99 super chat. Happy day after. Thank you so much. Now, unfortunately, it didn't work. See, that was the thing. It seemed like it was working where the chat filter would come on, but it didn't come on. So I don't know. Maybe we got to do more super chats or something. I don't know. But anyhow, thanks. So right now, just so you know, I'm on top messages. I'm not on all messages. I don't know. But Big Dog, thank you so much for that super chat. Regardless, and hey, wait, you gotta give you the yippee. I guess that's the thing now. I got to do. I don't know. But thank you, Big Dog. I do appreciate you. Chris Doug says, very pessimistic narratives on Blue Sky about next year. I'm trying to find some people positive to embrace and pursue. This chat is one such plus or place. Well, I appreciate that. We try to be positive. I'm not going to sugarcoat some shit. Sometimes I can go off on a subject or whatever. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think we're going to be in for a tough 4 years here. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But I feel like I issued all the warnings I could leading up to the election. I said what I said. I did what I could do in my own little way with my own little reach. I tried to warn people, and most of you in this chat, you guys already knew anyhow. You knew that Trump was a piece of shit. I bet you if we did a poll, who did you vote for? In fact, can I do that? Can I make a poll? I mean, I bet you overwhelming majority of people in this chat would say they voted for Kamala Harris. So you guys knew, you know, but who was better, who the better choice was. But you know, now we're at the FAFO phase. Fuck around and find out. People fucked around. Now they're going to find out. You know, I guess I'm shrugging my shoulder. I'm at the shrugging my shoulders stage of this whole thing because I'm like, you know, I did what I could. I warned people about Trump. I tried to do my best to promote Kamala Harris because I think she was a really good choice. And I think she would have been a great president. But here we are. You know, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I said before, you know, go get a supply of masks, get your boosters or your vaccines and all that shit taken care of as soon as possible because who knows what's going to be available and who knows what's going to happen. Big Dog, I'm looking forward to your Lyft review. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. I'll probably be doing Lyft here in a little bit. And it will be interesting to see how it differs because I've never done Lyft before. I've as a passenger, I've done it, you know, but I've never driven for them. So it'll be interesting to see how. I can already see that it is different, and it does seem a little bit better on their app. I don't know. It does seem a little more. I don't know, driver friendly. I don't know. But yeah, we'll do it. We can do a real good compare and contrast, I guess, on that one. Kimchi says, as a child, I couldn't understand why people watched each other fighting the day after Christmas. Thought it was an English tradition like our football. Robert Perez, now you tell me the day after Xmas, I would have bought you a limousine for Xmas. Too late, maybe next year. You would have bought me a limousine and then I could be a limo driver. If I could be a limo driver that just took people to strip clubs all day long, I would do that in a fucking heartbeat because you get anywhere from $50 to $80 kickback for every person you bring in there that goes in there. But I just don't know how. I would do that as an Uber driver or a rideshare if I could. I just don't know how to solicit for those folks. So it's all random, you know. It's just random. I don't know how to, I guess, legally solicit or at least solicit in a way that won't get me arrested. Let's put it that way. Or at least ticketed. I don't know. James Williams says, trust in anything Elon is involved in with is a bit of a risk, it would seem. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Elon Musk as far as I could throw his big fat lard ass. Chris Tuck says, Fancy, some of your Christmas contributions were hysterical. I missed those. I don't know. I didn't see that. Fancy says, I'm glad you liked them. Did you see my promotion for Trucker John this morning? Fancy, I did not see that. How am I not seeing this? Was it on YouTube? Thank you very much for promoting my show. I do appreciate you. I don't know why I'm not seeing those. I did go on YouTube and was it on YouTube or on Blue Sky? I don't know, but thank you, Fancy. By the way, Midas Kevin says I get a movie trivia game. I got a great. Oh, you got one. I got a Quiet Place game, a boombox, and a loving card from my mom. Oh, that's so nice. That sounds so nice. Aaron says I'm definitely on the naughty list. All I got was a student loan payment due today. Well, yeah, there you go. Doing school, you know, and getting an education. That's naughty. Robert Perez, yes, I'm naughty. I only found a 3-pound turd in my stocking. Wow, that's naughty. You must have been. It wasn't even cold. It was a turd. Fancy says, so you got a boom box too. I didn't know boom boxes were still around. I thought everybody just listened, on their AirPods. My discovery and sweaters. Jen's here. Hey, Jen. Hey, good morning, Jen. Good to see you. Morning, all. Thank you so much, Jen, for hanging out with us for a little bit today, our day after Christmas. Kind of a mellow day, more mellowness here. We're just being mellow, mellow yellow. Kind of we're kind of coming down from the Christmas high. So good to see Jen. Thank you very much for being here and checking us out. We got Midas Kevin. Fancy this one. Can record radio and play CDs. Wow. Robert Perez, if the reindeer are all tied together, their teams. Oh, I get it now. That's the original. Santa Claus is the original Teamster. Yeah, that's going old school Teamster. Yeah, yeah. You know? Yay. For some reason, I got all Canadian on you all of a sudden. I don't know. I don't know why. Mine is Kevin Anderson, and I got some support from my dad and his card. He ended it with "Go Midas Mighty." There you go. That's pretty cool. Robert Perez says Melania got run over by a reindeer sneaking out of Trump's house Christmas Eve. Big Dog NC says Fancy has some great Trigger John art on her blue sky this morning. Y'all check it out. Is that Fancy sitting on top of the truck? I didn't see that. I will definitely. In fact, I guess I could do it right now through the power of social media and iPads. Let's see if I can see that. Let's see if I can find it. Now, if I was, if I was really had my stuff together, I could, I would have it where I could put it on the screen here. But let's see, how do I find stuff on Blue Sky? I'm on Blue Sky right now, trying to find I guess if I go up to this thing here to the search thingy. Okay, there's Fancy. So I'm on Fancy's Blue Sky page right now. Fancy has 55,000 followers. Good job, Fancy. And I see you got my Trucker John link to the show. Thank you very much. And I see, I guess, another one for the Thursday Thoughts. Thank you, Fancy. You're so awesome. Oh, there we go. Trucker John's live stream. Ah, nice. Nice. Very nice. I like that. It was like it's kind of like a diner with a stage at the end or something. Yeah, look, there's like a stage, but the seats are backwards. They're not facing the stage. But it's cool. I love the what do you call it, the font or whatever. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna give that a heart. I should be hearting all of these. What am I doing? I need to be hearting all of those. Thank you, Fancy. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, so here we have. Oh, here's one. Here's the next one. Trucker John live stream. Look at there. Look at Trucker John with a nice dark beard. And look at, yeah, I like we got all these cute girls adoring me. Yeah, I like that one. And yeah, that might be Fancy up there on top of the roof. I love it. I love it, Fancy. Thank you. That's very awesome. That's very cool. There we go. There's another one. Trucker John with the big truck there. Someone's been in the chat GPT or whatever. But thank you, Fancy. That's pretty cool. Thanks for helping out and trying to get the word out. I do appreciate you for doing that. Let's see. I'm just seeing where I left off here. Oh yeah, Fancy says that's me. Yeah, because Big Dog was asking if the one on top of the truck was Fancy. Midas Kevin says, and he even read a Christmas greeting that Ben gave the Midas subscribers. Mighty Midas, the Midas Mighty. Boy, they're really getting big, aren't they? Interviewing Biden and all that stuff. Hey, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thanks. Thank you. Back at you. Right back at you. Thanks for being here. Chris Doug, I did a super sticker earlier this week and it didn't work. Please look into that because I wanted to contribute. I don't know. I've gone round and round with the YouTube people, and it's they say everything's fine. So I don't know what the f. I don't know what the f's going on here. Terrence Bunn says I bought more Christmas cards than actual presents, being a little frugal. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You know. I love polls. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't think I can. I don't think I'm set up to do a poll. For some reason. On here. It's just glitchy. Something's glitchy. Yeah, it won't let me do polls or anything. All right, I'm scrolling. Let me scroll back and see where I'm trying to find out where I left off. Okay, yeah, there was Jen coming in. Midas Kevin. Okay, that was Midas Kevin. I read that one. Fancy says, "Oh, now that is a special Christmas Kev." Oh yeah, that was nice. Um, let's see. Okay, yeah. So I read that. There's Tim Farrell. Hey, Tim Farrell. Good to see you. Our resident Tim. There's Jen and Jolie, Kimchi. There's people saying hello to everybody. Chris Doug says diet begins soon. It's the desserts that are my nemesis. Just wait until after the new year and then worry about that. Look, right now, don't worry about diet until January 2nd. Okay, at least. I'm telling you. Let's just relax. Let's chill. You know, just chill, everybody. You got to give yourselves a little time to chill. Let's see, Chris Doug. Okay, I read that. That's the one I just read. Okay, and I was trying to find. Yeah, it's just messed up, man. I could do it. I could try another goal. It lets me do goals, but it won't let me do polls. Okay, I'm going to set a goal of 5 super chats. See, I hate doing that because I'm. Well, we'll just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just see what happens. And if we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't. And if we do get it, I will stand up and you can see what my shirt says. I don't know. Something like that. Let's see. I'm trying to go back to where I left off. Whenever I do something, it goes all the way to the bottom, and then I have to scroll back up to see where I left off. Okay, I think that's about where I was at. Marsha says, "Fancy, excellent post on Blue Sky today. Thank you so much." Yeah, I was just looking at those, and those were. I loved your Trucker John things, in particular. Terrence Bunce, I bought more Christmas cards. Okay, I read that already. Okay. So I am. AM says, I voted for defending the Constitution. I voted blue all the way down the ballot. As did I. Kimchi says, my amazing daughter bought me the custom art piece. Okay, look, it just went through. I see there's a $4.99 chat. Let's see. From Chris Doug. Thank you so much. Chris Doug, yippee! And now the chat filter. What did I say? The filter chatter? The chat filter pops up, and I can go to all messages. Now I'm on all messages. Maybe it has to be $4.99 for it to work. I don't know. But thank you so much. That worked. Thanks, Chris. I'm embarrassed about that because, I shouldn't have to have you guys do that in order for the thing to work. But it is what it is. Okay, so now it won't let me scroll all the way back to the top of the, or back to where I was at. So here's where the chat's picking up. It's what minus Kevin Anderson says. You is lucky, Kimchi. You have us. So that's where I'm at. Oh my gosh, Jen. I've not scrolled down there yet, but I see that popped up. Jen, you crazy girl, you. Thank you so much for that. Now that's above and beyond. You've gone way above and beyond, Jen. Thank you so much. So much appreciated. Yippee! Yippee just doesn't cover that, but thank you so much, Jen, for that. That's awesome of you. Thanks for helping the show, help support the show, and I greatly appreciate that. Jen, you're just outdone yourself there. Let me continue with the chat. We've got Kimchi says, Marsha, I taught her by example that mothers must be spoiled, but she forgot the teeth brushing lesson. Uh-oh. That's not good. Nick Rich, be right back. Going over to Blue Sky for a minute. All right, Nick Rich. Now we've got, what is it? Poi McSubin? If I'm not saying it right, I'm sorry. Says the day after Christmas for all Catholics is St. Stephen's Day in the UK. It's Boxing Day. In America, in America, it's just, it used to be Return Day when people return gifts, but apparently they're not doing that anymore because they didn't have any gifts to return in the first place. But anyhow, hey, Paul McSwibing, I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Thank you for being here. Hope you like, subscribe, and share, and hang out with us and stay with us. Thank you so much. Do appreciate you. Jen says it says ex-entertainment promoter's wife. The strip clubs in Vegas have their own limousines or companies they contract with exclusively. They do, and they have their own. That you're right, and they also have there's also people that just grab other limos and they go, and also ride share and taxi cabs, and they all get kickbacks. Well, I think they all get kickbacks. I know I get kickbacks when I take someone there. And a lot of times it's like during certain hours. It has to be, there are stipulations. It has to be out of towners. It has to be guys usually. Sometimes it's, each place is a little different. Sometimes it's women too, or if it's during a certain time. In other words, if you drop somebody off at 10 in the morning, they're probably not going to give you a kickback. They want them there in the evenings and the late evenings because that's when all the big action is. That's when they want people in there dropping money, buying drinks and buying lap dances and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, Jen, you probably know more than I do about that. But I mean, but as a rideshare guy, it's just totally random. It's just like you just pick somebody up, and if they want to go to the strip club, then you got one. But it's not like it would be nice if I could just, I don't know, anybody who wants to go to the strip club could just call me up and I'll take them and I'll get the kickback. That would be great, but it doesn't work that way. It's at least not for me. Although I have seen drivers stand out when it's really busy out with signs. They'll say free rides to strip clubs because they know about the kickbacks, and they're not. Who knows what those guys are? I don't even know if they're even licensed. I don't know if they're even signed up with any companies. But there are guys, I've seen them. They just hold the signs up. It says free rides. They're handmade. They're like my signs that I make with my Sharpies, and they'll say free rides to strip clubs because they know they're going to get a nice kickback. And I've done that where I there there are some places that pay, like I say, $80 a head, and I've done that where I've dropped off 3 or 4 guys, and as long as they go in and they pay that cover charge, that's usually the cover charge that they're charging. If they're giving an $80 a head kickback, that's the cover charge. If it's $50 a head, then that $50 is probably the cover charge. So what you do, you drop them off. They usually have a little place to park. You park your car, and then off to the side, there's usually like a little booth or a little window or something, and they know you before you even get there. They know who you dropped off. They're watching who you dropped off, and basically they watch to see if those guys go in, if they're going to pay the cover and go in, then they'll pay me or the driver the kickback. Because I have had it a couple times where they go, yeah, they changed their mind, they didn't go in, so I can't pay you. And I'm like, oh shoot, okay. And some of them have been nice enough where sometimes, like I think it's Peppermint Hippo or something, they have a little punch card where. So like one time she goes, hey, look, I can go ahead and punch your card because after you do so many trips there, you get something. I forget what they give you. I don't know if it's a kickback or if it's just a free water. No, it wouldn't be a free water, but they give you something on that little punch card. But anyhow, yeah. So yeah, these promoters are big here in Vegas, by the way. They always like to get the pretty girls, just girls that are in town, and they will give them a wristband and tell them, hey, you can go to this club and this club and this club for free. Just go check in with Charlie over there. He'll get you in. You guys are free. You're covered. No cover charge, no minimum, because they want to load these places with pretty girls because otherwise it becomes just a big sausage fest or something. And that's a whole different thing. I was talking about nightclubs there. I wasn't talking about the strip clubs. Strip clubs and nightclubs, two different things. As far as I know. Yeah, David Richard 241 is here. Says finally got a live. I'm usually part of the replay gang. Hey, David Richard 241, thank you for making it. You made it, man. You made it to the live. This is it, man. See what you've been missing? You missed the live shout out. I'm shouting you out, David _Richard _241. Thank you so much for being here, though. Whether it's live or on a replay, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. And good to see you. Good to see you. Yakety Smack, don't talk back. Says, hey, Yakety Smack. Yakety Smack. I've seen Smack. I've seen Yakety Smack. Some comments Yakety Smack makes, and Yakety Smack does talk a little smack. Jolie says, I'm eating crackers and a cheese ball. Well, there you go. Sounds delicious. Jen says, I follow Fancy on Blue Sky. Fancy's got 55,000 followers. That's amazing, Fancy. I've got about 1,600. And probably due in large part to Fancy, by the way. Fancy's been steering people my way. I appreciate you. Marcy says, my good friend and his wife are bringing me Christmas presents tomorrow or Saturday. The only gift I will be getting. I am very thankful for them. Oh, Marcia. Well, that's nice of them. That's some great friends, right? Coming over, bring you a gift, spend some time with you. Those are great friends. Kimchi says, coffee and weed, breakfast of old stoner chicks and champions. Don't forget the champion part. Kimchi, you are a champion. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Jen says, well, you are adorable, John. Well, thank you, Jen. I think you're adorable too. Kimchi, did we hit the like? That's a good question. Did you hit the like? We have 46 watched and 55 thumbs ups. According to my thing, I'm not sure how accurate that is. My little seems like nothing is accurate on my what I'm seeing here, but Jen says turn on gifting. See, I don't even know how to do that. I mean, there's something wrong with my system here because once I went to all messages, as soon as I did that, the chat filter went away. So now, if I do anything, it'll go back to top messages. You know what I mean? And there's no button on here for gifting. But there is a little dollar sign here. But all it has is the and I'm afraid to click it, like because I'll lose my all messages. Living in fear is not a good thing, right? Anyhow, let me go on down here. Search for you is here. Hey, search for you. It says, oh well, I don't know what that was about, but oh well. Thanks for being here. Search for you, by the way. Oh well. Fancy says, oh, I think it's a gift to Kev. Chris Duck says, Fancy, we are definitely facing an uphill battle next year, so we need each other. We do need each other. Absolutely. Let's get through this thing together. We're gonna. Here's my predictions. You know how they always have those psychics to do like the predictions of 2025. Here's my predictions for 2025. We're gonna get angry. We're gonna be upset. We're gonna get pissed off. I know I'm going out on a limb here. I'm really, I know it's really a big, bold prediction. We're going to be getting upset and we're going to be angry. We're going to want to throw shit at the TV or whatever, But just prepare yourself for that. Just know it's going to be a bumpy ride. Trump's going to be doing a lot of shit. But if we prepare ourselves mentally ahead of time, maybe we won't get so upset and we can keep a clearer head and try to stay out in front of it. I don't know. And do whatever we can to keep getting the information out that needs to get out there. Every time Trump does something, we gotta let everybody know. Look, this is what Trump did. This is what you voted for. This is all Trump, and this is all because of you voting for him. That's what I'm going to be doing all fucking next 4 years, I guess. I'm going to be going, hey, this is what you guys wanted, all you Trump voters. Don't blame it on Biden. Don't blame it on Democrats. This horse shit it's on you, buddy. It's on Trump. I guess that's what I'm going to be doing the next few years. Fancy's eating pie with ice cream and whipped cream on it. Woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. Just do that shit until January 2nd. If you're anyone who wants to go on diets and all that, put the diet away. Between now and juniors. That's my new name for New Year's. I guess it's a combination of January and New Year's. So all the way till Junior's Eve, Junior's Day, eat that pie. Put the fucking whipping cream sky high with the whipped cream. Put some cherries on top. Go for it. This is the time of year where we should be allowed to just eat whatever the fuck we want to eat, as much as we want to eat. And you can start that diet. I know it's a cliche. I'll start the diet tomorrow, and it's a joke or whatever. You can start that diet on January 2nd. That's when we'll get down to brass tacks. That's when we'll get down to business. We're going to get down to business on January 2nd. Right now, fucking eat that pie. Eat that cake. Eat that leftover turkey, which probably isn't bad for you, but you know what I mean. Indulge a little bit. Have some fun, We're going to have all year, starting January 2nd, We're going to have all fucking year to worry about Trump and worry about this and worry about that, worry about our bills, worry about whatever might come up. Just let it go. For this week, we got a week. January 1st, I guess, is a week from today, right? Or a week from yesterday. I guess January 2nd is a week from today, I think. So we got a week. Fucking. Now, I'm not saying go so crazy that you're going to like end up in the hospital or something like that. You know what I mean? But just have a good time, you know? David Richard 241 says the coolest Christmas present I ever got was in 1966, a Zenith AM/FM transistor radio with a real leather cover. Any other boomers in here? I'm a boomer, and I remember stuff like that. Absolutely. Those were cool. I never had the real leather cover, I don't think, but I did have those little AM/FM transistor radios, and I loved it. It was the coolest thing, wasn't it? Kim Chi says 1966, the year I was born. I was born in 1960. So I think I'm a boomer. I think kimchi would be whatever comes after boomers. I think kimchi's in the next one. Nick Rich says, I remember those, David Richard 241. Chris Doug, I'm just now getting to the Chris Doug 499 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris Doug. I already thanked you, but I'm going to thank you again. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you for that. Alvin Stoops, 66 was my first Christmas. And here I am just now getting to Jen's day after gift. Thank you so much. I don't want to belabor it, but thank you so much. Yippee to Jen. That is just, like I said, that's above and beyond what you're doing there. And I appreciate it so much. David Richards says, Nick Rich listening to the Turtles and the Beatles, man. I had the Turtles. I used to buy 45s or get 45s. I had the Turtles, Eleanor. Was it Eleanor? No. Because, they had an A side and a B side, and both songs, I think, were hits on that Turtles. Like, it's like, I can't remember the words. So, I can remember the melodies and stuff, but I can't remember the words. But I had the Turtles. I love the Turtles. Let's see. Kimchi says, TG, I am pissed at you because I have your opening song in my head. Hush your mouth. Well, don't be pissed at me. Be pissed at the guy. I guess that would be me. Okay. Well, it is a catchy little tune. And so, yeah, I'm just scrolling on down. Everyone giving Jen the love that she deserves. Robert Perez says Jen is a hero. So I guess I'm about 15 minutes behind in the chat, according to Nick Rich. Jen loves this community. Jen, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm glad I'm sincerely glad that you guys are liking this chat. I do think that this is the greatest chat in all of YouTubedom, in all of the internets. You guys are awesome. We hang out. And we've even had, speaking of Mike H, or speaking of trolls, Mike H, who I hasten to call a troll, I think was very trolly. And now Mike H has become one of our most lovable chat people in here. So this is where trolls come to become good people. Not that Mike H wasn't always a good person, but Mike H, good to see you, by the way. I'm not trying to pick on Mike H, but I'm just, because his name just popped up, and I was thinking about, even when we do get trolls, either we have the real trolls that they just want to drop some right-wing talking points, and they can't say anything beyond that, and they'll usually get chased out, or they'll just go away, because we don't usually spend too much time with them. Or if they do hang out for a while, they usually go, hey, this is kind of a cool place. I think that's what happened to Mike. He hung out with us, and he's like, these folks are quite nice. I think I'm going to hang out. And so now we all love Mike H. So, see, that's what happens. You come trolling in here to Trucker John, and you're going to end up loving us. Now, you might still vote for Trump. I don't. Actually, I think Mike Gates voted for Harris. I wish I could do that poll, but it's not. I don't have any way of doing it, apparently. Let's see. Kimchi says, Yakety, loosening your pants and cleaning up pine needles day. Oh, that's the day after, yeah. Fancy says, yes, we are, Trucker John family. Trucker John family, yeah. Yeah, I love you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Nick Rich, no tax on tips. That'd be nice. Non-Useful says, war bunker sales in USA is booming since Trump became president-elect. The market for U.S. bomb and fallout shelters is forecast to grow from $137 million last year to $175 million by 2030. Well, that might just be a normal, trajectory. But yeah, non-useful coming in with some stats there. Thank you, non-useful. Roxanne Armfield says, love the background today. Yeah, I've been using that one for a couple of days now, but sort of my Christmassy one. I guess we'll keep that up for a little bit. Maybe for New Year's, I'll do something a little more New Year's looking. It's a great thing about green screens. I could do just about anything. Robert Perez, no, we are a fancy Trucker John family. There you go. Kimchi, fancy mutter trucklers. Are we bedazzled? Nick Rich, the Sharpie ads work. Jen says it's crazy competitive. I think talking about the promotion. Yeah, there are a lot of promoters. I've given some rides to promoters because I've gotten into a little bit of conversations with the promoter, with some promoters, and I've also had the girls that were signed up by promoters in my car, and I've talked to them a little bit about how it works and stuff. Non-useful. Trump loves a good Sharpie to control the forecast. Yeah, right. He can just move hurricanes magically with his magic Sharpie. Fancy says the last thing I want to do in Vegas is go to clubs. I'm gambling. Yeah, yeah. You're just there to gamble. A lot of there's a lot of folks, in their 20s, and especially in their 20s, they come here to club. A lot of them, and then there's people in their 30s, of course, and even older. But I think it's kind of funny. Sometimes people ask me, like, where the good clubs are, and I'm like, I usually just think to myself. But there's been a few times where I've actually said out loud, like, I'm 64 years old. I haven't gone to a nightclub in decades, and these kids, and I call them kids. They're in their mid 20s or early 30s or whatever. They have no concept of that. They can't even imagine, apparently, a life where you don't go clubbing. Because the responses or just the reactions are, when I tell them, I'm like, look, dude, I'm 64 years old. I don't go to nightclubs, so I don't know what the best clubs are. Or I don't know what, I can't, and they're like, really? You don't go out? Or blah, blah. I'm like, when you're my age, and they're probably thinking, God, I'm 64, I'll probably be dead, because to them, 64 is like 104. So anyhow, non-usual sausage fest gay bar. No, it becomes a sausage fest because it doesn't have to be a gay bar. We're talking about the reason promoters want all the pretty girls to come in is so it won't become a sausage fest, because of by not having a cover charge for girls or young women, young ladies. Of course, you're going to pack the place with girls then. If girls, by girls, I mean, of course, young ladies, if they had to all pay just like everybody else, then it's kind of hit and miss, probably. And it'll be, and it probably will be way more guys. The ratio. This is about improving the ratio, or making the ratios. They're skewing the ratio. They want to make it so it's more young ladies than guys, because guys will get all happy and excited. They'll start buying more drinks. They will happily fork over whatever cover charge there is, and then they will buy ladies. They want to buy all the ladies drinks. That's the game, right? That's the game. Okay, I don't know. You went right to gay bar. In your mind, that's fine. Yeah, but sausage fest just means that that it's all guys there, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a gay or a straight bar. Have you never gone to a party, going back like when you were back in your partying days? For me, that was my high school years and my up to my mid-20s. Have you ever gone? You heard there was a party in town, so everyone's like, "Let's go to the party, check out the party." And you go to the party, and it's all dudes, and you're like, "This is a fucking sausage fest." It wasn't a gay party. Or you went to a nightclub because you want to the local nightclub, not one in Vegas, but the one in Victorville or Apple Valley. What was it? Nights. We had one in Apple Valley. I forget the name of it now. Knights Landing or something. And you could go on a certain night, and you go in there. You're going in there because you want to meet girls, basically. And if you go in there and it's all dudes, it's a sausage fest. It's not a gay nightclub. It's not a gay bar. It has nothing to do with being a gay bar. It's just a reference. It means there's no girls here. It's all dudes. Anyhow, I belabor the point. I'm going to scroll on down a little bit in the old chat. So if I skip over you, don't take it personally. I just got to skip down because I'm a half hour behind, and I want to get caught up a little bit here. Robert Perez says, I must be a stoner chick then, because that's my staple breakfast. Oh, from what Kimchi was saying. But you're also a champion, so. Robert Perez says, and internet is supposed to make life easier? I know, that's the question, I guess. Hey, there's Richard from Australia. About 3 a.m. over there or something. Richard says, America is now stuck with dictator Trump for 4 years. Yuck. We might only be stuck with him with 2. Who knows? I mean, some people are speculating or are wondering if he'll even live out the 4 years. But anyhow, we can't worry about that. Whenever Trump's time comes, just like for all of us, whenever our time comes. But yeah, we're stuck with them. But unfortunately, so are you, Richard, because we are the superpower of the world. So not only are we stuck with them, but you're also stuck with them, and so is Europe and Asia and everywhere else. The whole world is stuck with this motherfucker. Chris Doug says super stickers and super chat showing up in purchases, but not being billed to my payment system. Please check it out. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube does all that automatically. I don't know how they do it. Maybe give it a few days and see if it shows up or something. Fancy says, and prices are going to go up. Yeah, and what we have to look forward to. He's still talking about all those tariffs and everything for Trump. Yakety Smack says Trump and MAGA will destroy themselves. Yeah, I think so too. They're going to be fighting. Like I've been saying, get your popcorn out, pop that popcorn, just kick back, watch them fight, let them fight. Let them destroy each other. We don't even need to get involved. When when your enemy is fighting amongst itself, just let them fight, let them go. And we'll be there to pick up the pieces, Clover's here. Hello, Clover. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the chat. Thanks for watching. I hope you will like, subscribe, and share. Share the show. That's a good one. Hit that share button. Chris Doug says, I'm boycotting tariff products, FAFO. Well, you might be boycotting everything then. Robert Perez says, I'm supposed to get a raise in my SSDI check this year. Thank you, Joe Biden. This extra money is going to be a godsend. Yeah, they're raising it, and they've been doing colas, and you can thank Joe Biden. You can thank Elizabeth Warren. She's been big on that. People like Bernie Sanders, AOC. Those are the type of folks that are going to help bolster Social Security, and certainly will be in favor of, Medicare for all. Those are the type of folks we need to elect, not fucking Trump. And I know, like I said, I know the people, most of you guys in here did not, but a lot of people voted for him. I forget the final totals. Was it 67 million, or was it in the 70s? Did we get in the 70s? Whatever it was, the difference in the popular vote was only 1.4%. But kind of amazing that Trump got even that many votes. It's pretty amazing. I mean, would any of us vote for a convicted felon and someone who just lost a civil case, where the judge said this could be called rape, something like that, right? Now I know that the maggots, they rationalize that, or they'll say that E.G. and Carroll, was a liar. They don't believe that was a just verdict. And they'll also say that those felonies that was the Biden DOJ, weaponizing the justice system. They'll say that. So the maggots, I could see them still voting for Trump, even though he's a felon and a rapist. But what about all the other Republicans that aren't maggots? Why did they vote for him? I guess a lot didn't, but still, out of that, whatever 70 million voted for him, whatever the final number was, those weren't all maggots. I'm just trying to think, like, if Trump was my candidate for my party, and I wasn't in the cult part of it, like the maggot, I'm trying to think from their point of view. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of, say, a Republican or something. I'm just trying to think, like, okay, I guess I'd have to okay, what if I was a Republican, but I'm not a maggot? And so I see that, all this stuff that Trump does, I don't know. It's just my brain is hurting now. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. I'm trying to figure out how you vote for a person like that, and it hurts. It actually hurts my brain. So I'm going to stop thinking about it, because you just can't. You can't. You try to put yourself in their shoes, and your head wants to explode. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Fancy says, I need to get a 4-year supply of red bows before the prices go up. Oh, yeah, there you go. Stock up now. Yeah, whatever you need, because prices are going to go up. AM says, who is going to be the justice to swear this adjudicated insurrectionist into office? Who will commit that treasonous act? Who isn't it? Is that usually the Chief Justice? So would it be Roberts? And of course, John Roberts is right there with he's right there, walking in lockstep with Trump. Hey, there's Brandon Woods. Says Happy Merry whatever you celebrate, everyone. Thank you, Brandon. Thanks for being here. Good to see you in the chat. Richard American as baseball and apple pie. Aaron West, I've lost 15 pounds since November 1st, not going back. Congratulations, Aaron. I know you've been trying to do that, right? So it's not like an unhealthy thing. You've been actually trying to do that. David Windler says, Kimchi, for some reason I have John's end of show song stuck in my head. It's so sad and country. It's kind of funny. Must be AI. Yeah, it was. I used ChatGPT, I guess. I wrote the lyrics, and I put in the parameters for how I wanted the song. And after about doing 12 different versions of it, I that's one of the ones that I liked the best. And I like that song. I would actually like to get my guitar out of storage in Lancaster and then learn how to play it, because I really don't know how to play it, even though I have a guitar. And I have taken some lessons here and there over the years, but I get to get on it and do a little strumming. And I would actually like to sing that song live in my voice, and not the AI voice. That the voice is AI all the way. And it came out really good. I think the voice on that came out really good. Clover, put gravy on that turkey. Absolutely. Kimchi says, I already have 10 cans of green beans, etc. Only need a new freezer to stock up perishables. Non-useful, I'm boycotting everything MAGA. Richard says, we here in Australia would not put up with the likes of a Donald Trump type character. You've had them before. Wasn't the last guy you had during Trump was kind of a Trump dude? You know, don't be all high and mighty. You guys aren't perfect either. And the only reason people are supporting him is because of this massive disinformation. We are seeing so much misinformation, disinformation. We've got the Russians, the Saudis, the North Koreans, the Iranians, all heavily invested in our elections. We've got so much big money, dark money. Elon Musk, $277 billion. That's what we're up against. And to try to get that stuff outlawed, to try to get money out of politics, has been next to impossible. Because we're like just chasing our tails. We're like the dog chasing its tail. In order to get rid of those things, we need to get the majorities in Congress. And then we need to and when we do get the majorities, we need to make sure we don't have fucking Joe Manchin's and Kirsten Sinema's in there to fuck everything up. Most of us, we know that Donald Trump is a piece of shit. But there's so much disinformation, so much propaganda. I don't know what it's like in Australia or Europe with the propaganda, but we saw Brexit, and that was a big Russian psyop campaign. So don't think you're immune to it, and don't think that you guys, are so special. Maybe no one really gives a fuck about Australia that much. That's what maybe that the Russians aren't down there. America's the big dog. That's the big prize. And that's why Russia and North Korea and China, they're after us. And they're going to put everything they've got. That's what we're fighting against. So I think we deserve a little bit of slack. Because we're out here, those of us that give a damn, We're trying our best to cut through that propaganda and cut through all that misinformation. And that's why I'm here. Anyhow, I appreciate you, Richard. I do appreciate you being here. Robert Perez says advice for travelers: bring baby wipes with you whenever you travel, because when you eat too much, you're going to eventually need to evacuate. So have your wipes ready. Thank you for that, Robert. Could not have gone on much longer without that advice. Non-useful. Like I got a crystal radio set from Santa. I'm not sure what a crystal radio set is, but it sounds cool. Fancy says my coolest Christmas present was a big Barbie head that the hair could pull out and grow, and it came with makeup to put on it. Oh, I remember those. I think I remember those. I think my daughter. I guess maybe we got her one of those. I think it might have been. I don't know if it was Barbie. It might have been Bratz. Maybe Bratz had one like that. I remember. I think it was just a head, and you could put makeup on it and stuff. I don't know. Wayne Goen says hi. I have a 57 Zenith AM radio that works perfectly. Wow. I think in my storage I have an old radio that was my grandpa's, and that still works. Kim, she says, David, they are both AI, but it really is John's funky poetry that gets me. It's so funny. Yeah, and also I did put in the parameters. You can put in when you make those. You can put in, okay, I want this to be a slow country version, or I want like a slow country, or you could do. There's a lot of things, a lot of prompts you can put in there, and you can do like for the chorus and like repeat the chorus. There's all kinds of things you can really make those songs very specific to what you have in your head. Marsha, born in the late 50s, so Marsha's a boomer. Kim She Fancy, yes, I also had a 3-foot Chrissy doll that the hair retracted. I'm just skipping down a little bit. Robert Perez, I asked my parents for a watch for Xmas, so they let me watch. Boom. Richard, I was born in Texas in 1947. Y'all come back here now. That's right, Richard, you are an expat, I guess. Brandon Wood says, for Xmas, I was spoiled some, even though my parents never had the money for it, because one of my aunts had a government high-paying job in Maryland. Brandon Woods, this year I didn't get much, but my 3-year-old came out like a bandit. Well, that's what it's all about, right? Those is the kids. I know we spoiled our kids really a lot when they were younger, Now they get nothing. Hey, there's Tanya Johnson. I see Tanya Johnson in the chat. I don't know if I've seen Tanya here before. I just want to welcome you, say hi. And I hope you'll like, subscribe, and share and all that good stuff. And Tanya says, I went to the movie The Fire Inside. True story about a female boxer. Was in the Olympics at age 16. Very inspiring. I think I saw that trailer. It did look very good. That did look like a good one. Chris Doug says, greatest childhood Christmas gift was the original Planet of the Apes action figures and Treehouse. Oh, that would be cool. I remember those. I think I remember those. Fancy says, I'd like some boots with the fur. Yeah, you got to have some good boots. Some nice boots can really put the whole outfit together. Wayne Goen going says, my first wife used to bake Christmas cookies. My second wife too. They're both gone to heaven now. Oh, I'm sad to hear that, Wayne. My condolences, and but at least you have the memories, the sweet memories, right? Richard said, chestnuts roasting on an open fire behind Trucker John. Yeah, I hope those stockings don't get too hot and catch on fire. Look at all those candles, man. I think we got some hazards behind me. Nick Rich, a lot of stage production in Vegas. Um, Progressive Times Herald says just followed you on Blue Sky. Thank you, Progressive Times Herald. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And I do appreciate that. Richard, I'm 77. Nick Rich, born in 56. Mindy Nitrous got all the old Trucker John memes there. Or not memes, but emojis, I guess, right? MJ Daniel, we didn't have places to go clubbing where and when I grew up, we had kegers. Well, we did that too. We had our nightclubs were basically bars, and they would have a dance. They would open up a dance floor on Friday and Saturday night. Um, but yeah, we did the kegers. We had the kegers down at the river. We had bonfires at the river. Everything was at the river, and there was usually a keger involved, or someone had at their house had kegers. There was usually a keger and beer bongs. Um, but it was usually at the river, which would be the Mojave River, which really wasn't much of a river, but it was that. Sometimes deep out at Deep Creek, there was some big kegers out there, or big get-togethers. It was usually out in the desert. Good times, good times. It was pretty inevitable. Usually, a fight would break out. Someone would get their car stuck in the sand. I remember myself getting stuck, or other people getting stuck, and helping people get out. Fancy, I grew up in the land of nightclubs. I was sick of them by 25. Mindy Nitro says, hey, all you sexy mother truckers. Wayne Goen says, I've never baked anything, but I'm thinking of buying a bread machine. Those are always fun. Chris Doug, see, this is how far I am behind in the chat. You guys, I'm reading where you were talking about the clubs when I was talking about the clubs. Chris Doug says, Clubland, I want my time, my youth, my money, and my brain cells back. Yakety Smack, Honky Tonk Hillbilly, bars and bonfires. Yeah, we had the bonfires. Non-useful, gifted a membership. Oh, there you go. See, I'm just not getting to that. I guess that was probably a while ago. So non-useful. If I wasn't ignoring. I just didn't see it until just now. So thank you so much. Non-useful gifted us a membership, and Janelle Espinoza got that one. So maybe Janelle will hop in at some point. Thank you, non-useful. I appreciate you. Richard says there is no longer a Republican Party, but rather a Trumplican Party. And we'll see how long that lasts. Like I said, pop the popcorn and let them fight it out amongst the more establishment, I guess, the old establishment Republicans, or the mainstream Republicans, and the MAGA. Let them fight it out. Let's see what happens. Yeah, all right, let's skip it on down a little bit. Chris Doug agreed, Wayne, such an overwhelming feeling of disappointment and anxiety about the ramifications of the election day disaster. Richard says Trump used the fear-mongering card to win the election by saying, if you don't vote for me, wars will happen. Nick Rich, stranger things are hard to imagine. Richard says Trump, the convicted felon and serial rapist, as POTUS. like I said, there's heavy propaganda here. So much so that so many of the voters, they don't even know about any of that stuff. They really don't. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's hard to believe that people don't know that Trump was found in a civil court to be guilty of sexual assault, and that the judge said, in common parlance, this could be known as a rape. And so many people, they don't even know about that. They don't know about any of this. I've talked about this before, how ignorant people are. Not you guys, but how much of the general population is ignorant. Because one, the mainstream media doesn't cover this stuff. And the right-wing media, of course, is just a propaganda machine for Republican Party and for Trump and MAGA. And then on top of that, so many people are just disinterested in anything political that they don't even pay attention to any of it until maybe the last week. And by then, they're just hearing ads that are all skewed, campaign ads. That's how I see it, anyhow. Maybe you guys see it differently, but that's how I see it. Wayne Goen says a lot of Trump voters are just misinformed. It's not their fault. They were lied to over and over, which is kind of what I just said, kind of. Non-Useful says, maggot quote, Trump used one finger. That's not rape. Okay, I don't need to get into that. And besides, he blah blah blah. But yeah, it's just they try to justify it and rationalize it, and it's just disgusting. There's Jolie with my blue sky link to Trucker John. Thank you, Jolie, for that. You can go over there and give me a follow. That'd be great. Mindy Nitro says, I cannot for the life of me think like a maggot. I know, I was trying to earlier, or not even like a maggot, I was just trying to put myself as just being a middle of the road, old school Republican, and trying to think, like, how could I vote for Trump? And it just, I couldn't do it. Robert Perez, when I lived in Peru, I was upset that my nephew voted for a felon, Keiko Fujimori, but now I'm beside myself that Americans are wiser people but voted for a felon. I don't get it. I'm not sure if they are wiser people. At least for the masses, the mass voters, like I said, who don't really pay attention to any of this stuff. Well, look at there. There is Non-Useful with a $2, I guess, super sticker. Says President Musk won the write-in vote. Yeah, President Musk. Let's see how long that lasts with Trump and Musk. I think we need to keep calling Musk President Musk and sort of, egg on that fight. Chris Doug says, fringe articles and internet chatter claims Speaker Johnson will have difficulty getting the certification vote passed. Could the Dems be plotting to disrupt and delay using parliamentary procedure? I haven't really heard too much of that, other than little hints of something is brewing, but I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. You know what I mean? Richard says, Elon Musk, being from South Africa, probably practices apartheid, which matches Trump as white supremacists. Oh, absolutely. They are two peas in a pod there when it comes to racism. And I never knew, I knew that Elon Musk was from South Africa, but I never saw his racism, his xenophobia, his bigotry. I never really saw it until, I guess these last year or so, or leading up to this election, where he started on X, he started posting more and more xenophobic, bigoted bullshit. I never really saw. I never saw that before. So I thought, well, he's okay. He's from South Africa, but I guess he's okay. He always seemed okay to me. I don't know. Maybe I was, I guess I was fooled. But we really see who he is now. We know. Now we know who Elon Musk is, and he's definitely. I think he's definitely a racist, and I think he's definitely, you know, he doesn't, he's your typical Republican in that he doesn't give a fuck about the middle class and the working class. I think he thinks everyone really should just be his slave, should just work for him for whatever pennies he would decide to throw at you. He's definitely anti-union. And how many of these union motherfuckers vote for Trump, who's very anti-union? Both he and Musk were on, have been recorded in an interview or whatever, saying how they would fire. They think they should just fire whoever they want, whenever they want, and that there should be no unions. And they laugh about unions. And then these union fucking members will turn around and vote for Trump. That's what I don't get. That's what I don't fucking get. If you're a union member and you're voting for Trump, or really any Republican, you need to get your head fucking examined, because the Republican Party does not like unions. They are doing everything they can to get rid of unions and destroy unions. So, what the fuck are you thinking? Republican union members? It's like, what, you like the racist part? So you're willing to, I guess you just figure, well, my union will be safe. As long as they're going to deport all the brown people, I think my union will still be safe. FAFO motherfuckers, FAFO. Now, Mindy Nitrous says Biden really should have retired and made Kamala the Madam President. And we got woulda, coulda, shouldas. That would have been that might have been the difference, because she, in the popular vote, Kamala Harris only lost by 1.4%. And when Joe Biden stepped down from the race, if he, let's say on that same day, he said, and I'm also resigning as president effective immediately, and then Kamala Harris, not only is she running, becomes the nominee, head of the ticket, but she's also now the incumbent president. Now that kind of doesn't work. That would have been a gamble too. Because how many people would have said, "Oh, I see what you did there, Joe. You can't trick us." How many people would feel offended, like they would just go, "Oh, they think they can just he can just retire and put Kamala in there, and that we're all just going to walk in lockstep and we're going to vote for Kamala." I could just see a backlash. So that would have been a gamble too. It's an interesting thing to think about. But also, there's nothing we can do about it. Richard says, I hope Trump ends up in prison and the inmates have. Yeah, I know, Richard. You say that almost every show, and I appreciate you, Richard. I appreciate that sentiment. I think a lot of us kind of share that a little bit too. Hey, there's Larry with a super sticker, $3. Thank you, Larry777. Thank you so much. Yippee to Larry777. He says bye-bye. I guess he left. Larry, I apologize. I know I'm probably 20 or 30 minutes behind in the chat or however. And I'm sorry, I just now got to it. So you might not even be here if you did leave because your little sticker says bye-bye. But just know that I did see it, and I do thank you very much, and I appreciate your support. I do appreciate it very much. Search for You says, I just want to see the first 15 minutes of my local news in the morning and PBS at night and on the weekends. The rest of my info will be coming from Blue Tubers. I thought you were going to say coming from Trucker John. From Blue YouTubers, which I am one. So thank you for being here. Search for You. We'll try to get out some information here and there. That's for show. Carol Liberos is here. Hey, Carol, good to see you. It says fancy happy Boxing Day. Thanks for being, Carol. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Christina Weibel says Mexico is sticking up for Panama. Now, I don't know too much about this new Mexican president, but she seems pretty awesome. From what little bit I've seen, she seems pretty awesome. And isn't it something? Mexico is progressive enough, I guess. They can vote in a woman president with no problem. I mean, not saying it wasn't a problem or it was easy or whatever. I'm sure it was difficult, but they got a woman president. And here we are, the United States of America. We're supposed to be the leaders in democracy, the leaders really of progressivism. You know, I mean, I don't know if it gets any more progressive than the Constitution of the United States at a time when, you know, everything was being ruled by kings and queens and dictatorships. And we can't do it. We've come up short twice now in Clinton and now with Harris. We've come very, very close. You know, Hillary Clinton got more popular votes by 3 million than Trump did, but the Electoral College let us down. In this one, Kamala Harris received in the popular vote 1.4% fewer votes. So we come close, but look, you know, hey man, if Mexico can do it, we can do it. I guess is that what I'm trying to say? Did that sound racist? I don't know. I hope not. But I'm just saying, you know, because we have our thoughts about what kind of a country Mexico is, and I think a lot of us think of that as like a third world country. In many aspects, maybe it is. I think it's definitely an emerging country. It's our biggest trading partner. So how third world can they be? They have a huge economy, due in large part to us, you know, sending our companies down there, right? Our manufacturing and stuff. But so maybe we should look at that as being a hope. Mexico has a really great, I think, woman president. She seems great. We've come really close, really, really close. So I think we can do it. Maybe the third time will be the charm. I don't know. I don't know who's going to run in 2028. I'm sure we're going to have some women candidates. I don't know. We might even have Kamala Harris again. I don't know. Who knows at this point? No one knows who's going to run in 2028 for sure. But I don't know. We just got to stay strong, hang in there, and try to learn from our mistakes. Try to educate as many of the masses as we can. Educate, and I don't mean like, oh, I'm so smart, I'm going to educate you. I guess by educate, I just mean make more people aware of the actual real situation and not the right-wing propaganda of Fox News and right-wing media, and not the skewed sort of like the sane washing of Trump that we see on the mainstream media, and the huge double standards where Joe Biden can't have one little gaffe in his speech without being labeled as being ready to be put in a home, for crying out loud. But Trump can gaffe and fart and shit and do everything, and that's perfectly fine. That's the double standard of the mainstream. So the mainstream media, it's all about these double standards and really letting Trump and Republicans get away with fucking murder, where the Democrats they can't fucking sneeze without being scrutinized for it. And then the right wing propaganda machine of Fox News and OAN or Newsmax and all that shit, and the right wing radio, that's just all total propaganda, lies, and bullshit. So we need to cut through that. And so when I say educate, I mean we need to get the truth out there to as many folks as we can, and hopefully more than sooner than just a week before an election. Minnie Nitrous says, I didn't feel well, had a tummy ache, didn't venture out yesterday. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mindy. Yeah, can you spec boots are made for walking? Richard, one of these days, these boots are going to walk all over you. Nancy Sinatra. I love that song, by the way. I think it's a great song. It so epitomizes sort of that mid 60s, go-go boots, rock. I love it. I love this song. I think it's a great song. Minnie Nitrous says, I saw a story that people have slipped and incur a major medical bill, losing all of their teeth, their front teeth. Wow. Yeah, I guess that happens. I guess that could happen. Chris Doug, mini kegers on water company property. Parents and police could never find us. Yeah, the good old days. It's the good old days. The capable Glober is here. Hey, capable Glober. It's hard for me to say. It says Trump supporters knew they had 8 years of Trump antics to know. Yeah, it's like we know who he is. We know who he is, but the Trump supporters, they just keep they're just in their little bubble, their little Trump MAGA bubble, Wayne Goen says winter used to be a lot more harsh. I don't know what UP here, but climate change is real. Yeah, I mean, this is the warmest winter I've ever seen. Even in Vegas, like 2 years ago, we had snow here on the valley floor. Last year was a warm winter. This year's a warm winter. We've been averaging 8 to 10 degrees warmer, a daily average, above average temperatures. It is real. I believe it's real, and I believe it's man-made. See, that's the thing. Now, a lot of right-wingers are acknowledging that climate change is real, but they won't go that extra step and say that it's man-made, and it is man-made. It's due to our excessive use of fossil fuels that creates the greenhouse gases. And I believe that's irrefutable. Josh says, subscribe to Trucker John's son. Yes, thank you, Jolie. Now, I'm behind. Jolie might have done this 20 minutes ago. I'm not sure where I'm at, but there's the link to my son's YouTube channel, Trucker John the Fourth. Actually, it's Rooster. It's XX Rooster XX. He does videos over there. I'm just going to check. Let's see where he's at on. He's got 76 subscribers, and I was trying to get him to 100. So if you guys could go over there and sub to my son's channel, that would be awesome. If you could do that, let's try to get him to 100. When we first started doing this a few weeks ago, putting my son's link on the chat, I think he was at 41. So we've gone from 41 to 76. That's about 30, 36, I guess. So let's get him some more. We just need to get about 24, and they'll be at 100. All right. Am I doing my math right? Wait, what was he at? 76? So that would be, yeah, that would be 24 more, right? The capable Glober says it's almost as if we had completely ignored Trump after 121, and lest Devour MAGA would have forgotten him, or less devout. I think for the mainstream, I think the mainstream forgot. You and I, or a lot of us in this chat, if you're a fan of Hal Sparks and you watch Hal Sparks show, you could not see Trump, the Trump rallies, and all the Trump bullshit. You know, Hal Sparks does a very good job of keeping us apprised of Trump and MAGA. But the mainstream media, or the main not the mainstream media, but the main masses of people, like I said, they don't follow this shit. They really don't. And I'm not expecting everybody to be, watch as much as we do, but at least put a little bit into your daily viewing. Try to get some reliable news sources, and be somewhat involved with what's going on with your own country, at least, let alone worldwide events. At least give it 15 minutes or 30 minutes of your day. Could you at least do that? Masses? I'm talking to the masses right now. I do believe that most people in this chat are pretty well informed, but to the general masses out there in America, this is my plea. Would you please just devote 20 minutes? Can I say 20 minutes of finding a good, AP, Associated Press stories, or don't go to something that's totally biased or whatever. Get some news in your system. Good, reliable news, not some propaganda, right wing bullshit, or even propaganda, left wing, whatever. Get some good. Try to find something as non-biased and objective as possible. Fancy says people were overly confident too, I believe, didn't see the urgency. I guess about voting or something. Josh says bigotry is weird. I think so. The capable Glober says once he got into the news over those kids trapped several years ago, the news stories started to break. Was that the one about they were in the cave, the water cave? Christina Weibel says Congress can't block electoral votes. The Global News Network covered that today. Also, there was an op-ed piece done by the Hill newspaper. It says Congress can block electoral votes. Well, that's what they were trying to do in after the 2020 election, right? That's what the Republicans were trying to do. Dana Darden's here. Hey, Dana, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us here in the old chat room, in the old driver's lounge. Says the maggots in my family were not invited to the family Christmas. It was nice. It was so nice without them. They fucked around. Now they're finding out. Good for you, Dana. Good for you. I think that that sounds like they got what was coming to them, and I think that's great. Nick Rich says the Constitution hasn't faced its biggest threat yet. Chris Doug says Trump said during 2016 campaign that the minimum wage was too high. Way to go, union members that support pay cuts. Right. Hey, John from Las Vegas. Thanks for being here, John. Good to see you. I like John. He's a good guy. I met John at a Nerd Halen concert one time. He gave me a really great, awesome, shoulder massage, believe it or not. John from Las Vegas says any union member who voted for Trump should turn in their union card. I agree wholeheartedly. And so does Jolie. Jolie says, "Hi, John from Las Vegas." I agree. Chris Doug says, "If you pay or paid union dues and voted for Trump, you're a scab." Josh says, "Per Richard, I'm disappointed Trump won't be getting a Roger Stone prison tattoo." Fancy says, "I thought Denmark's counter offer to buy the U.S. was hilarious." I didn't hear that, but just hearing that about it sounds funny. Christina Weibel says, "Mexican president, she's a badass." Yeah, I want to learn more about her. From what little I've heard, she does seem pretty amazing. Nick Rich says, "Many women have led Democratic." Yeah, that's true. It wasn't just Mexico. But yeah, there's been a lot. And for some reason, we haven't been able to break through, but we will. We're so close, and we will at some point. I don't know if it's going to be 2028 or not. Unfortunately, it might be. It might be Gavin Newsom or somebody, but um, who knows? It could be. It could be Kamala Harris, or it could be some other woman candidate that springs up that we haven't even thought about yet. I think from the moment I saw AOC, I thought she's going to make a great president someday. Now, of course, at first she wasn't even old enough to be president when she first won her House seat there. But I always thought, hey, let's let her grow, continue to grow and mature, and by the time she's in her 50s, she will be great. She will be a great choice, and probably even in her 40s, because now what is she now? She's still in her 30s. I mean, like John Kennedy was only 45, I think, wasn't he, when he was president? So, and I think Clinton was in his 40s, I think, wasn't he? Late 40s or something. So, I mean, you can have a president in their 40s, and I think they were very good presidents. I think Kennedy and Clinton were very good presidents. I mean, we have a lot of criticisms, I think, of both of those administrations. They're not perfect, especially Clinton, but overall, compared to fucking coming out of 12 years of Reagan and Bush, Clinton was, awesome. And an AOC, maybe a 45-year-old AOC or a 50-year-old AOC. I'm not, she might, it might be awesome. Maybe in 2028 and 4 years from now, maybe, how old is AOC now? I don't even know. Is she 35? Whatever she is. So maybe she'll be, let's say she's a 40-year-old AOC or a 42-year-old. I don't even know the ages, but whatever she is, she's going to be perfect. AOC might be, she might be the 2028. She might decide to run. I don't know. I haven't heard her ever say anything about running for president. But I love AOC. I think she's amazing. I think she's awesome. She might be a great candidate, but I don't know if it's the right time. But 4 years is a long way off. It'll get here sooner than we think. Before you know it, it will be, the 2028 elections. But it's still a long way off. So we'll see how it goes. But I love AOC. I love me some AOC. But I've always thought also there's no real hurry, like especially when she first came out, and people were saying AOC for president from day one, even when she wasn't even eligible age wise. And I was just like, okay, let's tap the brakes a little bit. She's awesome. I love her, but let's let her get some experience in Congress. And I think by the time 2028 rolls around, she will have had at least 10 years of experience being in the House. Who knows? Maybe someday she'll run for Senate. I don't know, but I think AOC would be a great choice, even for 2028. 4 years. That's 4 years from now. Like I say, it'll get her sooner than we think, but it is still a long way off. Let me skip on down here. Josh says I've been playing a silly game on my phone for like 10 years, and all the best regents I've played have been women. Just saying. Okay. Chris Duck says, but misogynistic racist USA couldn't deliver Kamala. No, I know we couldn't. Like I said, it was close. We became close, and I do think, you know, maybe if she had a little bit longer campaign time, she may have closed that gap. But I guess we'll never know now. Clover says people in Panama are outside U.S. Embassy burning pictures of Trump. Wow, deservedly so. Robert Perez says Hal Sparks Trucker John 2028 ticket. I can dig it. Um, I would do that. I would be Hal's running mate. David Willer says we tried to break the glass ceiling and lost our democracy. Well, sometimes you gotta, take a swing at it. Nick Rich, let's see, 11:04. So I'm about 14 minutes behind in the chat right now. Zunny says you're right, Trucker John. Educating them is the best way. Hey, Zunny, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Don't see Zunny in here that often, so I'm glad to see you, and I hope you'll stick around with us and like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Marcia says my caregiver arrived half hour ago. Shower day, be safe and well, everyone. Thanks again. Thank you, Marcia. Thanks for being here. Have a nice shower, and good to see you. And I'll be coming on again this afternoon and also on Saturday. So hope to see you in one of those shows. Christina Weibel says we can't educate maggots. They're zombies. And yeah, and I'm not really talking about the maggots. Yeah, like I said, a lot of those are lost causes. I'm just talking about the general masses of people. I'm not talking about maggots. I'm talking about masses. The masses are asses. That's what I always say. And I mean that because as an ass, because it rhymes, but basically it's like they're just this big, giant glob of people where to get information to them, it takes for fucking ever. It takes forever to winnow through this mass. So I'm talking about the masses. We need to do a better job of getting information out to the good, objective, fact-based information to the masses. That's what we need to do. I'm talking about masses, not MAGA. Let's see. Skipping on down. Clover says, "Take care, everybody." So you might be gone already. Good. I'm glad you were here. Thanks for hanging out with us, Clover. Hope to see you again on the next one. Hey, there's Ovi Ivo. Says, "What Vegas buffet are we going after the show, John?" I saw Ovi Ivo today on the Stephanie Miller, the Progressive Voices Network feed of Stephanie Miller, and we were talking about buffets. So Ovi is continuing that. Good to see you, Ovi. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in and checking it out. Let's see, the Vegas buffet. Well, let's see. I guess it would be like a virtual thing. If I were to go to a buffet after the show, if I had the money, I would go to the Wynn buffet. That's my favorite. If I'm going to go to a buffet, because I'm not really a buffet guy, believe it or not. But if I'm going to go to a buffet, I'm going to go to one that I like, and that would be the Wynn. Or if I want to try something out just to try it out to see if it's any good. Like I've never gone. I've heard the one at Caesars is really good. I've never gone to that one. I really haven't gone to too many, but I've gone to the one at the Wynn, and I think they are just unbelievable. Great food for a buffet, And the price was reasonable the last time I went. I mean, for a buffet, they've probably gone up though. I haven't checked it recently. Like we it's been a couple of years. We went after my son's wedding. What was it, like $70 a head or something like that? I forget now. I want to say 50, but then I'm thinking it was 70 because 50 is too cheap. I don't know what it was, but it was something like that. 60 or $70 a head. I bet you, I haven't checked lately. I bet you it's gone up. I bet you it's closer to $100 a head now. Maybe John from Las Vegas could check it out, or somebody, if you know about the Wynn buffet, what they're up to for their prices. They have different prices for, I guess, for like the breakfast one and the dinner one and everything. But if I was going to go to a buffet, I'd probably go. let's go over the win. Um, Christina Weibel, I'm wearing camo. Good idea. Music is here. Hey, Music, good to see you. It says, flat earthers did not support Kamala. Of those who supported anyone, Trump was their pick. Well, yeah, the flat earthers, yeah. Zunny, repetition seems to work. Yeah, that's right. That's true. You got to pound it into their heads. Mindy Nitro says, yeah, how did Mexico have a female president and the USA doesn't? UK had female PMs, so did India. Chris Doug says, when they tell you who they are and what they are going to do, believe them. Christina Weibel says repetition doesn't work with maggots. They want us arguing with each other. Like I said, the maggots, I think, are a lot of them might be beyond hope or reach, or it's going to take a lot of shit to happen to them. But I think I'm kind of talking about. There's a lot of people that don't vote. There's a lot of people that aren't interested in it. There's a lot of people maybe they voted, they get interested in the last second. I'm kind of talking about those folks. We need to get them interested, get them involved, get them with the knowledge they need, the info they need. You know, that's who we need to reach out to. Because the 80 or 90 million eligible voters who did not vote, but they were eligible by age and by citizenship or whatever to vote, but they didn't vote, those are the folks we need to reach out to. Those are the ones we need to get the information to. And if we can get 30 or 40 million of those folks on board, on board with voting for Democrats, we would never lose a single election ever again. You know? So there's the link. I don't know if this, did I circle back? I see the link to my son's channel again from Jolie. Thank you. Like I said, if you go in there and give him a subscription or sub to that channel, that'd be awesome. Here's Poi. Is it Poi? Poi McSubney. Again, sorry for butchering the name there. Will you please check out our British group called Politics Social? The host, Graham, has a message for America. It's called Politics Social. Okay, I'll check that out. Robert Perez says, I'm sorry, I'm a Mexican who eats frijoles and am currently contributing to greenhouse gases. Sorry. It's you, Robert. It's all your fault. All them refried beans you've been eating, Robert. Damn it. I knew it was you. I knew it was you. Larry77, I'm in Vegas. Haven't seen it rain since July. Yeah, we've had a couple of sprinkles here and there, and that's it. It's been really, really dry. It's been drier than usual, and it's been warmer than usual. And not just us. It's warm all over the planet. Our planet is heating up, and it's man-made. Christina Weibel, I love how Spark Hope he's on today. I haven't heard. I have not heard one way or the other if Hal is on. I'm going to do my 3 p.m. show regardless, because that's usually I do on Thursdays a Hal Sparks pre-show hangout, because he usually comes on at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Now, I don't know if he's still back east. He probably is. I don't know what time zone he's in. Like, his family is in the Eastern time zone, or where he has been. I don't know if he's in the Central time zone, if he went to some other family. I don't know. I haven't kept up with it. I don't know if he's back in Vegas. I don't know. Probably not back in Vegas yet. If he was back east for Christmas, he's probably still back there. I have not heard. I didn't look on this Discord page. I don't know if he's doing a show today. I'm going to plan on doing a 3 p.m. show unless Hal comes on, because you never know with his travel thing. He might come on earlier, he might come on later, or he might not come on at all. I don't know. So let's just plan on coming back here at 3 p.m. And I'm looking at the clock. We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes, and my microphone will probably die at any time now. So I probably should end the show anyhow for today's show. And then I'll be back. I will be back here at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And if it just so happens that Hal's on at the same time, then we'll make it a very, very short show, and we'll stop. But I don't, like I said, as of this moment, I don't know. I have not heard if Hal's coming on. I didn't go to Discord. Usually, I check out and I see if Andrea or Hal has posted something. So if anybody else knows or has heard anything about Hal's schedule for today, let me know in the chat. But regardless, I think I'm going to go on at 3, and we'll just play it by ear from there. There's Aaron West. Trucker John has channel ship memberships and super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, sharing, and you can also buy me a coffee on that link to the Buy Me Coffee. And those are all great ways to support the show. All great ways at all income levels. Liking, subscribing, and sharing, absolutely free. Does not cost you a dime. It only costs you about a second of your time, you know. And then buy me a coffee, and we have super chats and all that stuff and memberships. And those are great ways of supporting the show. And I deeply, deeply appreciate all forms of support. Ivo says, Fancy, did you like Diane Singles Landslide? So that's the Fancy, I guess. So we'll see what Fancy says. I will tell you, whenever I see Diane doing her little rock concerts and singing, I love her voice. I love her talent. I love her singing. I think she's a great singer and guitar player. And I don't have the link, but whenever Diane is doing her concerts and little I call them concerts, whatever, you should check them out. She's awesome. Christina Weibel says, I watch MTN, Jen, Todd, Randy Rhodes, Stephanie Miller show, PBS news on YouTube. Common sense is what I look for in my news. Stephen Norm says, just stopped in to wish everyone a happy holiday. I would be watching Hartman, but he's off. I asked Santa for a Mercedes-Benz, but he gave me a cup of diesel. Thanks, Janice. I guess in case you ever get a diesel Mercedes-Benz, and you could use it. I don't know. Ovi Ivo, I got my playlist set up. There you go. Fancy, she should do much more single songs. Hey, WW is here. Hey, good to see WW. Thanks for joining us here in the old driver's lounge. WW says, we didn't talk politics at either of my family Christmases. That's probably wise. That was probably the wise thing to do. Ovi Ivo, I suggested to her to do that for that reason. WW, statistically, unions vote with America. I guess unions are maybe a reflection of America, right? Ovi Ivo to forward single song. Fancy, I had her White Rabbit on yesterday. I need to see what else she has. Yakety Smack says, agreed, John. Union members who voted Trump, dum-dums. Well, there's a disconnect there, I think. If you're voting for any Republican, the Republican Party has been anti-union since at least Reagan. Okay, can we at least agree on that? Since at least the Ronald Reagan administration in the 1980s, the Republican Party has been actively trying to get rid of unions, demonizing them, you know, just by the things that they say about, you know, not really supporting workers and workers' rights and labor rights. They are not. And then we have Trump on tape, you know, saying he wishes he could just fire people whenever he wants. And I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there that lets us know exactly how the Republican Party feels about unions. So that's the disconnect to me. I've been a union member before, a proud union member for many years. I can't imagine being a union member but then being a registered member of a political party that didn't want me to be in a union and didn't want my union or any union for that matter to exist. And that's another disconnect. That's the thing. That's the issue. In my humble opinion. Zunny, AOC is 35. She just now turned 35. So I guess she's old enough now, right? Don't you? What's the Constitution say? You have to be 35. So in 2028, she could run. If she ran in 2028, she's got my vote. Just saying. Nick Rich, a lot of elected positions available in 2028. Fancy's got to run. Thank you, Fancy. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the gifting, the membership, and for all your support on Blue Sky and for hanging out with us. And I'll see you on the next one. I'm about ready to shut this down before my mic shuts off. Oh, yeah, I vote Trucker John 100%. Supernome, I love AOC, but I want her to run for House for a while then in her 50s. Well, like I said, there's no big hurry, really. I mean, other than saving America, maybe. But I'm hopeful that AOC will be around a long, long time. And maybe at some point she would, if she's not going to run for president, maybe at some point she might take a run at a Senate seat and become a senator and then from there go to president or whatever. But like I said, she's so young, she can get 20 years of really good experience in the House, in Congress, and then run. So she doesn't have to run in 2028. I'm just saying if she did, and if the time seemed right, because sometimes you never know. Sometimes Bill Clinton kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't know who the fuck Bill Clinton was in 1992 or whatever. And then he became this wildly popular candidate. He won all the, he was kicking ass in the primaries. Jerry Brown was the only one that really gave him a run for his money. And then he became a really popular president, and he won 2 terms, and he turned the economy around and brought jobs to the country. Some of these people that come out of nowhere. Now AOC is not like we know who AOC is, but as far as like who's gonna come out in 2028, there might be someone we haven't even thought of who might become the person. The person who's going to win those primaries, like Bernie Sanders. I knew Bernie Sanders from the Tom Hartman show years and years and years before he ran. So I knew who Bernie Sanders was, but it seems like America kind of discovered him in that 2016 campaign. He became wildly popular, way more popular than I think even Bernie thought he was going to be. So, I mean, you just never know what's going to strike a chord with the American public, the voting public or whatever. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see. We've got, like I say, it's a long way off. It's going to get here sooner than we think, but it is a long way off. And we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Ovi Ivo says, keep calling Elon president and call Trump vice president. Yeah, I like that one too. I think we should do that. We just keep needling, just keep that needling going on. Ivo also says, remember 100-hour news blackout starting January 20th, as per Malcolm Nance. I'm boycotting the inauguration, that's for sure. WW says, men and boys who felt threatened. I'm dropping the needle. These are needle drops on the chat. So that was a mid thread type of comment. I have no idea what that was about. Poi McSubin says, my name in English, Trucker John, is Paul Sweeney. I like to use my Irish spelling. Okay. All right, then let's go into the Irish. Use the Irish one. As I go to my absolutely awful Irish accent. And I do apologize. Because that is horrible. Like, even I know it's horrible. Chris Doug says, Hal deserves some time off. Yeah, he's a hard-working dude. No doubt about it. WW Harry Reid was anti-abortion. Good for him. Now he's been aborted. Super Norm, oops, that New York police station. Mid-thread. Okay, it looks like I'm at the bottom of the thing here. Live better. Nick Rich says, live better, work union. Absolutely. Look for that union label. Super Norm, oops. Ovi Ivo says, whole family is union. Even my daughter is in the teachers union. And I've said, how can there be MAGA union members? I know that's a head scratcher. Robert Perez, United States of Corruption. WW. Bernie didn't understand that there was a quitting point. You step down when you know you've lost. Yeah, I didn't mean to bring up that whole thing. I'm not going to relitigate that now, especially now that we're ending the show. Gosh darn it! I'm going to thank everyone. I'm going to thank Jen for that another great donation to the show. We had Fancy with a gift membership. I can't see him now. It won't let me go back to my chat filter is off. I know we had some great super stickers and super chats from several of you folks. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome, supporting the show, keeping the show going, and also all you folks who are just here watching, you're liking, you're subscribing. That helps immensely. So thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, I finally caught up, Nick. It took me 2.5 hours, but God damn it, I caught up. But all right, I'm planning on coming back on at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Like I said, I haven't seen. I guess maybe I'll go over to Discord real quick. Let's see, because that's usually where I'll see. Like Andrea might post something. Let's see. I see Jupiter Judy put a picture of some plants of some sort, and Benny Loco has a plant. I don't know if those are pot plants. That's all I'm seeing over on the on that. Let's see. On Andrea's, what's the latest post from Andrea? I see a picture of a kitty cat. So I don't have any news about well, here's in case you missed it. Apparently I missed a lot. I don't know, because I'm just seeing, again, the latest thing I'm seeing are these plants. I don't think those are pot plants. I don't know. There's some kind of plants that Jupiter Judy and Benny Loco have posted. As far as any updates on Howl coming on, I don't know. I don't see it. I do not know what's going on there. So, no cookie, Nick. No cookie. No cookie for you, Nick. No cookie. You were on the naughty list. So you don't get a cookie. Wait, whoa. Ease up there, Trucker John. You can't shut me out like that. Who the hell do you think you are, Trucker John? Hey, if I want to come on the show, I'm going to come on the show. You ain't going to stop me. There's no way you are going to stop me. Oh, yeah? Well, I just stopped you. So there. I have the power. I have the power, Tough Cookie. I could shut you off any freaking time I want. So don't think that you have all this power, because you don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Look at there. Here I am. What are you going to do about it, Trucker John? What are you going to do about it, huh? You going to try to stop me? You can't stop me. You can't stop the Tough Cookie. Yeah, see? See, well, there. No, I stopped you. You're out of here. You're 86th for the rest of the day, Tough Cookie. Just for that, I'm going to give Paul, the purple beard guy, all of your time. Well, I appreciate that, Trucker John. I really do. Thank you so much. I'm not going to come in and yelling at you. I'm not going to yell at anybody. I'm just going to kick back, relax, and watch you and Tough Cookie fight it out. And then eventually, one of you will kill the other, and then I will take over. That's my plan. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, by the way, I just want to say, hope everyone had a great Christmas, and I hope you have a great New Year. I know, at least have a great New Year's Eve, okay? At least have a great New Year's Eve, and hopefully we're not just the orchestra playing as the Titanic sinks. I don't know. Eesh. Anyhow, have a great one, and we'll see you guys on the afternoon show. All right, that's it from those. I'm goodbye, guys. Go, just go. I'm talking to Tough Cookie and Paul. Go, just go, please go. All right, guys. So anyhow, you guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Regardless whether Hal's on or not, I don't know. I haven't heard. I don't know. He might be on. He might not be on. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Hey, hey. I kind of went from Trump to like an old Jewish guy or something. Hey, who knows it? Anyhow, guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. You're lovely. Thank you, Aaron and Jolie, for backing me up, being my mods. Thank you for all the support. Thanks for the likes, subscribe, the shares. Thanks for being here. You guys are beautiful. You guys are awesome. And just remember, as is tradition here on the Trucker John Show, I always like to end the show with some really sage, old words of wisdom, things that I've learned in my 64 years of being on this planet. You kind of, if you're here long enough, you kind of get some wisdom, right? And I'm going to impart some of that wisdom upon you. So you might want to get paper, pen, write this down. Might want to make a sign. I don't know. So here it is. Just remember, as you go on down.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile of Easter, baby, the show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we